In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and lush forest, there lived a loyal dog named Chiku. Chiku belonged to a household headed by Mzinuru, a wise and kind elder known throughout the village for his generosity and warmth. The family lived in a modest but cozy home, surrounded by the beauty of nature. Chiku was no ordinary dog. He had a keen sense for hunting and was deeply devoted to Mzinuru and his family. Every day, Chiku would accompany Mzinuru and his sons into the forest to hunt for bushmeat and other wildlife. The dog had an uncanny ability to track game, and thanks to his sharp senses and agility, they always returned home with a bountiful catch. Remarkably, Chiku often refrained from eating any of the catch, waiting until they returned home to be fed by his beloved master. On some days, Chiku would venture into the forest alone, returning with a fresh catch for the family. His loyalty and selflessness made him a cherished member of the household. Mzinuru's children, especially his daughter Amina, adored Chiku and often played with him in the yard, weaving flowers into his fur and telling him stories of their ancestors. However, a particularly harsh season arrived, and the family's luck began to wane. Despite their best efforts, they struggled to find any game during their hunts. Day after day, they returned empty-handed, their spirits dampened by hunger and frustration. The forest seemed to withhold its bounty, and the once vibrant village was shrouded in an air of desolation. One evening, after yet another fruitless hunt, Mzinuru gathered his family around the dwindling fire. "We have only one piece of meat left," he said solemnly, holding up a small, dried piece of bushmeat. "This must last us for the next 3 days." They cooked the meat and prepared a thin soup, each family member taking only a small portion to make it last. Despite their hunger, they ate in silence, grateful for the little they had. Chiku, sensing the family's distress, lay quietly by the fire, his usual lively demeanor subdued. The following morning, hunger gnawed at Chiku's belly as he watched the family ration their meager meal. Driven by his instincts, Chiku slipped into the kitchen when no one was looking. The aroma of the last piece of meat was too tempting to resist. He quickly devoured it, unaware of the consequences his actions would bring. Later that day, Amina went to the kitchen to prepare the day's meal. She gasped when she saw the empty plate where the meat had been. "Father! Mother!" she cried out, her voice filled with alarm. "The last piece of meat is gone." Mzinuru and his wife rushed into the kitchen, their faces etched with concern. "What happened?" Mzinuru asked, his eyes scanning the room. "It was Chiku," Amina said, pointing to the guilty-looking dog who cowered in the corner. "He ate the meat." In a rare moment of anger, Amina, driven by hunger and frustration, grabbed a stick and began to beat Chiku. "Bad dog. How could you? We needed that meat." Chiku yelped and whimpered, his eyes filled with fear and confusion. He bolted from the house and hid under the kitchen wardrobe, his usual place of comfort now a refuge from the pain and scolding. Days passed, and the family tried to coax Chiku out from his hiding place, but he remained there, refusing to come out. His once bright eyes were now dull, and his body grew weaker from lack of food and water. Mzinuru and his family felt a growing sense of guilt and sorrow. On the 5th day, Mzinuru decided to take matters into his own hands. He knelt by the wardrobe and gently called out to Chiku, his voice soft and remorseful. "Chiku, my loyal friend, please come out. We are sorry. We didn't mean to hurt you." But there was no response. With a heavy heart, Mzinuru carefully moved the wardrobe, revealing Chiku's lifeless body. The family was devastated. Tears streamed down Amina's face as she realized the gravity of what had happened. They had lost not just a pet, but a faithful companion who had always given without asking for anything in return. The village held a small ceremony to honor Chiku. Mzinuru spoke to the gathered villagers, his voice choked with emotion. Chiku was more than just a dog. He was a symbol of loyalty and selflessness. Let us learn from this and remember to appreciate and be grateful for those who give without expecting anything in return. The story of Chiku spread throughout the village and beyond, becoming a tale of gratitude and appreciation. The villagers learned to cherish their blessings and to treat their loyal companions with the love and respect they deserved. As time passed, Mzinuru's family tried to move on from the loss of Chiku. They adopted a new puppy named Jengo, hoping to fill the void left by their beloved companion. Django was a lively and curious pup, and he quickly bonded with the family. Though he could never replace Chiku, his presence brought a new sense of joy and hope to their lives. Mzinuro continued to lead his family and the village with wisdom and compassion. He often shared the story of Chiku during gatherings and ceremonies, ensuring that the lesson of gratitude and appreciation was passed down to future generations. One day, a young boy named Kofi approached Mzinuro after hearing the story of Chiku. "Mzinuro," Kofi asked, "why did Chiku eat the meat if he was so loyal?" Mzinuro smiled gently at the boy. "Chiku was indeed loyal, Kofi. But even the most loyal and selfless beings have their moments of weakness. Hunger can drive anyone to act against their nature. It is important to understand and forgive such moments, just as we would want to be forgiven." Kofi nodded thoughtfully, understanding the deeper meaning behind Mzinuro's words. The story of Chiku continued to resonate within the hearts of the villagers, reminding them of the importance of compassion and understanding.